Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about what I've sold off in my vintage collection, and I'm going to talk about some modern stuff because I think it's very pertinent, and I like to be transparent. And I feel like I know these toy trends because it seems like I know what's going to happen like the back of my hand. So I'm gonna let y'all in on this, and if you don't watch it, you won't know. Anyway, I've sold off a lot of stuff. I've collected about 100 toy lines over the years, and I've scaled back a few, but the reality is I'm going to scale back more. Even more is going to go. And the reason is because I have to sell stuff off to have space for new stuff, money for new stuff, and at this point, 30 years into collecting, I have got to let the collection support the collecting. And that's just me personally. Not everybody's in my situation. But if you've spent as many thousands of dollars on this stuff as I have, then you really got to extract that money back out to continue collecting, or you got to stop. And that's the reality. And that is what it is. So I was going to make this a whole selling video and tips and tricks, and I'm going to put that in another video in the future. This is really just about me. What I've sold. How my collection changing, shifting, and drastically being altered for, well, it's for the better or worse. You decide, coming up. Alrighty then, so I'm going to start out with Street Sharks. And the thing about Street Sharks is the fact that they're not tiger sharks. They are street sharks. And I actually hate live sales. But during the shutdown, live sales were big, and so I was part of like 8. And one of those live sales, the guy was like, Mike, you don't know anything about 90s. Let me send you a Biker Mice figure, Vinny. And I thought it was really good. And I kind of got into Biker Mice. Hey, you like Biker Mice? Let me send you a Street Shark. And then some other friends were saying like Tiger Sharks are like really hard to collect. And I kind of confused the both. So I started collecting this, and I was like, I don't like it. And then I got Tiger Sharks, and I loved Tiger Sharks, by the way. And it's not for me. Mattel started making these, and the modern ones were way better, by the way, way better. But, if you grew up with these and played with these as a kid, I understand wanting the vintage version. So I understood I did not have any connection to this. I did not care for this at all, so they're gone. And I got my money back out of them. That's pretty much all I wanted. Next up was Computer Warriors. Now, I thought this was really fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I enjoyed it, but it had no nostalgia for me. I literally did not know it existed till it was at a toy shop. And I bought everything they had, and then I collected on eBay parts and pieces to make mine complete. And made my video, as complete as it was. And then I decided, I don't need it. It's not something I want to keep. And this quintessentially is kind of where I'm at with collecting. I would buy any toy line, do a video, and sell it back off. And I know there's tax implications. I understand all that. So I deal with it in that same manner. But it does kind of worry me. Because if you just keep every week putting out $3,000 worth of stuff on a table and then selling it back off, I mean, that's going to attract a lot of attention over a year. So I spread those out. Anyway, sold it off. I don't need it. I don't miss it. And whoever bought the stuff was super ultra happy. I made his day. So the truth is, those are the only 2 wholesale toy lines I've sold off. Now I've got some other stuff at the end that I'm going to be dumping eventually. I don't know. Now, next year, 5 years from now, but they're gonna go. But these are the toy lines that I over collected for a lot of reasons. Number one, I bought lots to make mine complete. And as you buy lots, you get stuff you don't need to get that last figure. And like, I'd love to have 6 lunks. That'd be great. But it's just the world we live in is not like that. So I scaled it down and I slimmed it out a bit. And some Robotech stuff is gone. It's just the way it is. Same thing with Bionic 6. Now I've kind of slimmed it down a bit. And I've come to grips with I only need 3 of each figure. And some of you might be like, what? 3 is more than I'll ever have. 1 is more than I'll ever have. But the truth is that I have set up displays with Bionic 6. Bionic 6 is literally my top 5 favorite toy lines. And when you think about it, like, I've gone through the trouble of getting 6 good, fully functional, complete dirt bikes, 6 fully functional, complete quad runners. And then I want the whole family on those. But if you have 3 sets of bad guys and then 1 set of good guys, so it's really this shelf. I mean, it brings a lot of joy to me. By the way, it's my computer background right now is this. That's how much I like Bionic 6. But yes, I've sold quite a bit off. Killer Centurions, I went way too far with it. I admit, I love it. It's amazing. But you get to a point... Now, my buddy in the UK, the thing is that we both over-collected this line. It's so much fun, but it's also very addictive. Because you buy a lot of Centurions. You get 7 things 80% complete. So you buy another lot that completes 4, but you still have 3 that aren't complete. Then you have enough junk to start working on, oh, I'm halfway complete to another. It's very addictive. Parting together this stuff. And with that, I said, you know what? I'm going to wholesale off some of my stuff. And I did. And people were happy. And I still have a couple of things like that were left over that I wanted to sell in my toy show boxes. So, you see me at toy show, I got some Centurions. Remco Karate Kid. Now, with this, this is going to start kind of the trend that I'm on. And I will discuss this. Is the fact that I do upgrade my collection. I had this, it's fun, and I started upgrading and ending up with extra figures. I don't really want, multiples of the same exact figure. I want each figure, but I started realizing that they did color variations with the accessories. And so I wanted each color variation and all of that nonsense. Yeah, shenanigan. It's crazy, it's insane, but it is what it is. Also, I've sold off a lot of masks, which, I had to. See, I told myself if I could cut my mask collection down by a third, and of course, make money back, I can display it the way I've always wanted to, and I've always wanted to display this with 2. Like, one is standard vehicle, and one is converted. And I'm about a third of the way through the displays. Financially, I've spent $300 already. I need to spend another $300 to $500 between lighting, risers, printouts, all that stuff to make this space what I want. Maybe if in editing I have a better picture than this, but these are screen grabs from my last collection video. When I collected G.I. Joe vintage, and I said I want all of these. So I've collected, at that time, like 60 vintage toy lines displayed them all, most of them only one shelf, because it's one and done. Call it a day. But I like G.I. Joe more than all of them. Like, G.I. Joe's still in my top 5. Why am I not doing that with G.I. Joe? Oh! The extreme time money factor. It cost me $10,000. I'm not joking. I'm not lying. Now, I've sold back $2,000 of that $10,000, because I would buy a figure just for one accessory, because the accessory costs 10, buy the figure for 12, and then you put the accessory you need. So then I would bundle all of my leftovers and sell them. So I made back 2,000 of the 10,000. I still have another 2,000 in my estimation to sell, but most of that's going to go to toy shows, and it's going to be kind of fun interaction with people. So it is what it is. And G.I. Joe extras getting sold off. I almost have 2 tubs of extra Joes. I have a project I haven't started yet, but might be a push to 2027 or 2028. All right. LJ and Dungeons & Dragons is an amazing line. I made a video about it, of course, obviously. And like Joe, I made every single year's video of everything made in every year. And I have it, most of it, in hand. So this, I have everything. A whole complete set, 100% every piece, and showed it off. So a lot of fun. But to get to that point, I bought lots of collections and lots, so I have a lot of extras. People are like, why you got 6 of the same figure? Well, it's very common. It shows up in every lot. But I display it with pride. But I sell it with pride too, so. Sold it back off. I'm lucky to get my money back out of some of this stuff. I know that. Alright, Dragon Riders of the Sticks. Now, this is a toy line that, oh my gosh, it's so hard to collect. I had a lot of trouble with it, and I even kicked myself for not buying more of this when I could. I think the train has left the station, and getting this line is impossible. 100%. And so I have 100%, but I have like 300%. So I sold off some of my extras, and let me just tell you, they sell fast, and they sell for more than I paid. So as I lose money on a lot of stuff, this is one thing I made a little bit of money on. And I'm not really out to make $1 billion here, but at the same time, I understand the market. It is what it is. Same thing with Crystar. Crystar is something that I will tell you, the prices have come down on a lot of stuff, and prices have gone up on a few things. But at the end of the day, like, I literally sold off some extras and broke even. I have more extras, but I like having stuff with the playset. I had a second playset, and I sold it for what I paid for the playset. But I pulled some parts off to make mine more complete. That's just kind of how the game goes. When you collect vintage playsets, right? You might pay $500 for a playset, right? Pull a couple parts off, resell for $500. So ultimately, you got those parts for free. Your time, effort, and waiting 6 months for someone to buy it is also a pain. But I wish I would have collected this when my buddy had it all and offered it to me for super cheap. And I turned my nose up. I feel like I was like a snob. I think I'm done being a snob, right? This isn't toys, but it literally is my biggest video. I really had a lot of fun with my son. We compared these motorcycles, electric dirt bikes. One day my son came home and he said, "Dad, I want to get an electric dirt bike." And so that Christmas, I didn't just get him one. We bought 3 because I have 2 sons and me, so we could all do it together. And it was like, you took the cheapest one, and that was your gift. Then the next cheapest one was like, oh my gosh, what is it? Another one? And then a third. Oh my gosh. Dad blew his mind. He couldn't believe it. It was amazing. But After years of these, I mean, these batteries start to wear down. The kids get too big for them. They don't care about it. They got other things. They don't really want to do this anymore, especially when they're driving. So, sold them all off. And yeah, I lost money on them, but if you have something like this that's semi-perishable, get rid of it while it still has value. Now, I'm taking screens from my videos, so they're not the best, but Dino Riders. Now, this is something I'm gonna sell off. Now, this was in my I'm done collecting, and I've not bought. Well, I bought a figure. I like the figures, so I'm gonna strip out one of each figure and keep the figures for myself and sell everything else. Now, I have added it up, and I think I have $850 in this. So I have to extract at least that out of it. And then I'll get rid of this. I did the math. It's like $27,000 to collect a full run of this. Mint, working, not broken. I'm not down for that. I'm not about that lifestyle. Next up, I plan to eventually get rid of my Battle Beasts. I collected this, and I shamefully have to admit I've got about $5,000 tied up in this. And when I did the math, reselling it, I mean, literally I'm barely going to get my money back out of it. And it is a really hard toy line to collect still today. But looking at comps, I'm just barely going to break even, because if you spent $5,000, you've got to add 15%, which means you got to get like $5,800 out of it, and it's going to be hard. But I'm not ready yet to sell it, get rid of it. But like when I look at everything I own, this is on the chopping block. Maybe not 2027, maybe not 2028, but eventually. Now I'm going to circle back around to what am I doing with this space? Like, what do I do when I sell stuff off? Well, so this space here is given way to Scooby-Doo-Doo! Now, I've noticed Jada Shaggy sold out everywhere. So now, because I said it, I have to buy it on Amazon. I will give you the Amazon Shaggy link down below. It's the only Shaggy for sale at MSRP I can find. It is going up in value and all that crap. So, I better buy mine before this video goes live. Lucky for me, it's going live super late because of YouTube and long checks on your videos. So, it'll go up late. Anyway, I did replace the space with something I like more. Now, I did make a collection video, and so I'm just going to throw it in here. I put Commandos, the Diamond Toys Commandos, in my empty shelf, because I was pondering 8 different toy lines put in there, and I've got a lot more I might sell off, by the way. I might sell off, but I'm holding on to it because there's stuff coming in the modern era that I want to use them for comparisons and all that. But Diamond Toys Commando, whole lot of fun. Really good toy line. Alright, so I found this G.I. Joe classified checklist. I have sold off anything in G.I. Joe classified that is worth more than $100. If it goes for $100 or more, it's out of my collection. It's gone. And the reason is because Hasbro has abused me personally. They've taken it to a personal level and have absolutely abused me so much with this line. Because I know for a fact everything that goes for $100 will get remade in maybe a different iteration, a better iteration. So, you know, screw it. I sold off all my HasLabs. The thing about the HasLabs was that I literally, let me get one. I literally struggled to break even on HasLabs. I decided to not open them because I don't have space, and I didn't open one. I opened the O-ring Sky Striker, which now Sky Striker's worth $200, by the way. Any Sky Striker in existence, $200. The classified HasLabs, I didn't open any of them. I don't have space to display them. I doubled, tripled, quadrupled, or $10,000 down on vintage figures only. In fact, to get to the vintage figures only, I sold off 5 really expensive vehicles so that I had space and money to get there. And with that, all my HasLabs are gone. And now I do own a retro Wild Bill. Let me just show you how effed up the classified line is. This Pythona is another one of those figures that made me want to quit the line. And it went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I got it in like 5th up. And I got mine. But now it's $85 at BBTS. Right now. I mean, well, I don't know. When this airs 12, 15 hours after I record it, I don't know if it'll still be up. But you can get it cheaper on eBay. Like, literally. People sell it on eBay cheaper because they paid $40. They only want $60. Go get it on eBay. Now that... I don't know where this came from. Did Hasbro say, hey, let's sell you $400? Did BBTS just buy them and sit on them for a year and a half? I don't know. I have no idea. This is BS. Complete BS. And I'm just going to leave this with Target. If you collect the modern stuff, I mean, it's always going to come back around. Like George Lucas says, everything rhymes. It's all got to rhyme. But what do you think about me selling my stuff? Dumping it? I gotta sell or I can't collect, and you're not going to get sales numbers until my last video collection tour. Had everything around.